Hello everyone and welcome back to Knit Chocolate Pearls. Today we'll be talking about WIPS. Now to start, how many projects do you have going at once? I normally have about 3, maybe 4. I have my year-long temperature scarf, I have a knitting project and usually a crochet project. Sometimes I'll have like 4 knitting projects at once. It really depends on how well I can control myself, to be honest. Anyway, let's get on with the first project. So, spoiler alert, this is my temperature scarf for the year. I'm actually honestly getting really worried it's not going to be long enough because this is up to date apart from today, and today is the 22nd of April when I'm filming this. So yeah, that's how long it is. It's nowhere near long enough to go around. I'm terrified this is going to end up a cowl. Hopefully not. I don't personally like cowls, or it might end up at that awkward length where it can't quite be an infinity scarf but it can't quite be a cowl. Hopefully not. I knitted my temperature scarf last year, 2 rows of worsted weight yarn a day, and it ended up way too long, like uncomfortably, unwearably long. But I'm crocheting one a day this year, and I'm getting really worried about this. I feel like it's not quite enough. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully by the end of the year it will work out fine. Anyway, this is the Hobby Friends wool. It is 100% wool in the colours off the top of my head: Misty Green, Sage, Cappuccino, Mulberry, Cognac, Chocolate, Buckthorn. I do have a pumpkin, but we haven't reached that temperature yet. I think the max temperature we've had so far this year is 21 degrees. We had a really hot, like, late March, early April. So good. We've had no good weather for so long. I hope this summer's going to be good. Anyway, this project, the only thing I'm concerned about really, aside from the length, is felting. This yarn feels like it's going to felt a lot. I'll hold it up close to the camera so you can see. If you notice, it's very fuzzy and it's sort of binding around each other. I really hope it doesn't felt, because when they felt, it really spoils them. For me personally, it spoils it. So yeah, anyway, let's get on with the next project. Over the weekend, I cast on another step-by-step jumper. If you haven't seen my pattern review yet, check it out because, spoiler alert, I love it. So I decided to cast one on in acrylic just because I made my first in wool, and I wanted something that's easier to wash that I can just sort of throw in the machine because it's quite hard to get wool dry here. Now, this is how far I am. I cast it on Saturday. I'm just past the arms, done the underarms, and now I'm onto the body of it. I just have a long way of just knitting in stockinette all the way down. I'm going to make this a bit longer than the wool one because I don't intend to block it. I don't normally block acrylic. I've also decided to make this in a size B just for the extra room because I wanted a bit extra length, and I felt like I wanted one slightly baggier. Not that there's anything wrong with the size A one, it's actually a perfect fit. I need to block it for the length, and I felt like just testing another size as well. Anyway, this is with Yarn and Colours Super Amazing in the colour Sunset. I love it. I love orange, my second favourite colour. I can't wait to wear this. I would try it on, but I can't because the needles aren't really long enough and I don't want to yank everything off and end up pulling it back. That's a bit of a waste of time. Anyway, very happy with the way this project's turning out so far, and to be honest, I could make 500 of these and I probably will. Yeah. Anyway, before I keep rambling, let's get on to the next item. Blankets, blankets, blankets. I said in my last haul video that I was going to make a blanket with the paint box yarn that I bought, and I wasn't lying. I'm making it this heart granny square blanket. I have only attached part of it because I've actually run out of yarn. I didn't get as many squares as I wanted because I started making them in like you see how this one's red and white? I started doing like white with the red border, white with the pink border, and after I made a bunch of them I realised I didn't like it, so I'm going to have to take a bunch of them apart. I've decided just to do the white and the pink with this flat slip stitch red join around it. I really love it. I'm going to put a red border around it as well. I need to get some more yarn and it's on sale at the moment, so I'm going to order that today. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I'll hold it up without, hopefully nothing falls apart. It's hard to see it at the moment, but yeah. Making it kind of like medium sized, not too big. I wanted something that covers me but without swamping because I want to use it on my computer chair. And I have, like I said before, I have OCD. If it touches the floor, that's it, it's in the wash, I can't use it. I can't let it touch things, so a huge blanket for me is a no-go. Anyway, I also kind of regret using this yarn, if I'm honest, because paint box yarn isn't the best quality, and I know it's cheap budget acrylic, but it's in about the same price category as Stylecraft, and for me personally, Stylecraft just takes the cake. I really wish I'd used Stylecraft. I only picked Paintbox simply because it was on such a good deal. But yeah, this yarn, I'll do a review for it. It keeps sort of splitting. You can see all of the texture in it and that, and I'm not a big fan of that. I have blocked these squares because they were extremely rumpled when I made them. I don't normally block acrylic, but I had to with these, and it has made them look a lot better. Hopefully they don't end up scrunched up sitting in my project bag until the next yarn arrives. I had a lot of fun making this though, and I can't wait to get the next yarn and finish it, because this is going to be a really nice project. I don't have anything that's sort of like pink and romantic or Valentine's-y, and I really wanted something like that. Another issue with this is I've noticed a lot of shedding on it. There's a lot of fibres coming off and long hairs on it, and that kind of bothers me as well, because when I was sitting here crocheting, there was loads of fibre in the air, and that really bothers me. I don't like the hairs on me and stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy with this project. I love the way it looks, and I'll update you on how it turns out soon. This Magikarp will struggle to use Splash because he's not even fully attached yet. I started making this probably a year and a half ago, a year ago, and this is how far I am with it. I'm ashamed to have had this in my project bag for so long, because Magikarp's my favourite Pokemon. I absolutely love Pokemon. If you love Pokemon too, tell me your favourite down below, okay? But yeah, I've had this in my project bag for a long time. Some of it's attached, the top fin, the bottom one's hanging off. This is partially hanging off, it needs to be tightened. But yeah, I started this with the 4mm crochet hook. I'm doing it from a pattern book I have, and I'll show you, I'll insert a clip. I have this Pokemon crochet book that I was given as a gift, and yeah, I'm not using the yarn from the book because it recommends a cotton yarn, and to make one of these from the yarn it recommends would have cost me like £40, and this cost a £5, so no brainer really. I also have this black yarn attached to it. I think this is going to be for the eyes. My issue with this pattern is that I needed to make felt eyes and a felt mouth, and I don't like the look of the felt, so I'm going to have to crochet it. And when I was getting onto it, I was like, oh, I can't be bothered. I'm a bit burnt out and bored of this. Because this took a while to do. The pattern wasn't that clear for me, and I learned to crochet with amigurumi, and I was sitting there like, this pattern is quite tiring, to be honest. And you have to, you don't crochet them together, you crochet each little piece separately and then sew them together, so it was just becoming this big project that I didn't expect it to be. Anyway, I'm probably going to get on with that. I shoved all of the yarn for this project underneath my sofa in a big bag, so I'm going to have to dig it out. I can do it, there's not that much left, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I am going to have to buy some more fibre filling though, because I used all of it on my, if you've seen the video, my reworking the sunflowers into a cushion. Now, another issue I have with this is, aside from the strings, is that it recommended using a 3.5mm hook off the top of my head, but I used the 4mm for the DK weight yarn, and it is a little bit gappier than I'd like. It's fine, but you know what I mean, when you use a amigurumi in the correct yarn size, it tends to have a slight separation to it. Not the best, but yeah, looking at this Magikarp again, I haven't touched it in a while, and I am going to finish it soon. I'm actually really pleased with it. For a while I hated it, I shoved it in the bag and I thought I can't be bothered with this, I don't like it, this has taken way too long. But looking back on it, I'm actually quite impressed, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for my current work in progresses. If you have any work in progresses yourself, leave them in the comments below, let me know what you're making, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.